Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? We have a sad truth to talk about, okay? And I did a little bit of digging, and I'm really upset, okay? And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this needs to be known, and this might impact you guys as well. Okay, because this is happening in 17 states, including here in Florida. And it literally, I mean, when I started researching this, I'm like, why? Why? But before we jump in, hey, how you doing? My name is Autumn. Here on this channel, as well as my other channel, Autumn's Backyard Garden, I like to dig into current events. The link for my other channels in the description box below. I also have a Patreon, and over there we talk about stuff that we can't talk about here due to YouTube's terms and policies. When you sign up over there, you get a free trial for a week, okay? And the stuff that we talk about there is current events as well as going down rabbit holes. But I do some deep diving over there. Okay, we do have some great fun over there, and I go live over there and stuff like that. Okay, but let me get into this. So this is really sad. Okay, Homes of America, okay, has gone on a buying spree, spending nearly $300 million to acquire 138 mobile home parks across 17 states. They've raised rents and aggressively evicted residents. I've got some footage that I'm going to be sharing with you, okay? But I just want you to prepare yourself because, I mean, you want to talk about, I cried, okay? And I was just like, how dare these sumbitches? How dare them? No joke.
I worked my whole life, and this is what it comes down to? Some greedy person wanting his big chunk out of what little bit I had.
How much longer can you afford to live in your home?
1 month. I don't know what I'm going to do. Hope that I don't wake up tomorrow. That's crossed my mind.
One of the most important forms of affordable housing is under threat. They're called manufactured housing communities. You might know them as mobile home parks or trailer parks, and they often get a bad rap. But 22 million Americans call them home for a reason.
We're pretty much the last oasis of affordable housing in this country.
These parks are at the foundation of America's housing market, often the last line of defense against homelessness. But over the last decade, these communities have become the target of a new kind of landlord: private equity.
Private equity firms are increasingly getting involved.
Some of the biggest investors in America have moved into this industry.
People living at a local mobile home park outraged over the sharp increase in lot rent.
Rents were raised by nearly 60%.
Their rent could increase by thousands of dollars a year.
A group of mobile home residents are protesting their living conditions.
It's like you genetically bred a superior predator and let him loose in a target-rich environment. This is actually a good day. Sometimes it's like mud.
This corporation is putting profits ahead of the safety and welfare of our local citizens, and this we will not allow.
So why have manufactured homes become private equity's latest target? And what can be done to save one of the last forms of affordable housing in the country?
I've lived in manufactured homes for 50 years, maybe more.
Madeline Beckett lives in a park outside of Lansing, Michigan.
This park was run the way a good park should be run, by the same couple for years and years and years. They were a little stern, or she was a little stern. She was a lot stern, but nobody pulled any punches with her.
Like most people in manufactured housing, Madeline owns her home, but pays monthly rent to the park owner for the land it sits on.
When I retired, I looked at my money and my situation, and I'm like, okay, great. I knew what the rent was. It was 1/3 of my income. I don't live high on the hog. I'm not going to Paris anytime soon. And then the conglomerate came in and offered, apparently, the owner money that he couldn't resist. I looked it up and I went, oh dear, I think we are in trouble.
3 years ago, a private equity firm bought Madeline's community and later sold to another firm. Since then, her monthly rent plus fees have jumped 50%.
Instead of what I thought the rent was going to be, it's $200 more. I have nowhere to go. Just the other day, my daughter went with me to the food bank, and I hadn't done that before. I haven't been poor. I worked for 45 years. There is no American dream anymore. All it is survival.
During the pandemic, institutional investors started to buy more manufactured housing than ever before. Between 2020 and 2021, they made nearly 1/4 of all manufactured home purchases in the U.S. Today, 12 private equity firms own at least 1,200 parks nationwide, according to the Private Equity Stakeholder Project. In Michigan, private equity owns 1 in every 10 parks.
There is an overall trend in our economy to identify who has the fewest choices and then squeeze them.
Paul Terranova organizes manufactured housing residents in Michigan.
While folks often call them mobile homes, they're not really particularly mobile. Wall Street investors, private equity firms, hedge funds kind of figured out that folks living in manufactured housing communities are trapped. They can't move.
It costs $10,000 to $20,000 to move one of these homes, and most people who live in them can't afford that.
If you think about the fact that the average manufactured housing resident lives on about $35,000 a year, that's generally out of people's range.
Because they can't move, they're uniquely vulnerable to predatory landlords who can charge the highest rent residents can bear.
There's a guy named Frank Rolfe who runs something called Manufactured Housing University.
Okay, we're now at her second park. We're getting out again. So here we are.
He was quoted saying something along the lines of, owning a mobile home park is like owning a Waffle House and having your customers chained to the booth.
The big thing is they can really tolerate rent increases really well. And it pretty much works throughout America because there's so much need for affordable housing right now.
That business model, a reliable stream of payments from captive tenants, is a big reason why these parks are so lucrative, providing investors with one of the highest annual returns of any asset in real estate. Higher than offices, commercial, industrial, you name it.
Hey, trailer park.
Brandon. This is a financial play to them. They don't care about us. They'd just as soon evict us, take our homes, and then rent them out to somebody else for $200 more.
Theo Gantos lives in a park near Flint, Michigan. 3 years ago, it was taken over by Homes of America, an affiliate of the hedge fund Alden Global Capital. Alden Global is best known for buying newspapers across the country and stripping their assets.
Yeah, we had a pool, before the Homes of America. We still pay the same amount as though we had a pool and as though we had a community center, but we have no community center either.
Since 2021, Homes of America has gone on a buying spree, spending nearly $300 million to acquire 138 parks across 17 states. They've raised rents and aggressively evicted residents.
So Homes of America is a company associated with another company called Alden, A-L-D-E-N, Global Capital. And like I said, they've been on a buying spree, acquiring manufacturing housing community across 17 states. Specifically, they have acquired over 10,000 manufacturing housing lots in 138 parks since 2020. They've been spending nearly $275 million, and this acquisition has been criticized for its potential to drive up housing costs and displace the residents that live in these mobile home parks. Now, Houses of America has been purchasing the manufacturing housing communities in a significant number of states, with them concentrating mainly here in Florida, in Michigan, and in Illinois. So this buying spree has been criticized, right, because of the increased rents, the aggressive eviction processes, and the way that they're going about things. It's wrong on so many levels. So this Alden Global Capital is a private equity firm, and it's involved in these acquisitions. And some of these residents of the mobile home parks, they filed lawsuits to prevent or challenge these acquisitions. But what is weird is that this Alden Global Capital is a hedge fund that has acquired a significant number of newspapers, including Chicago Tribune, Denver Post, and the St. Paul Pioneer Press. They've also been involved in acquiring other media companies like Lee Enterprises, which owns daily newspapers in multiple states. And Alden's business model has been criticized for prioritizing profits over local journalism and community interests. So my question is how did they all of a sudden start buying up mobile home communities in 17 states? You go from newspapers to real estate? Okay, so the company's business model is often described as, like I said, prioritizing profits over local news and community engagement. And some reports suggest that Alden might be more interested in the real estate and the cash value of the newspapers because they acquire then in the quality of the local news coverage, right? So this Alden Global Capital, through its affiliate of Homes of America, is actively acquiring the mobile home communities primarily for profit. They don't care about the people. They don't care. They are buying these properties, often saddling them with debt, and then they're accused of raising lot rents, using aggressive eviction processes and tactics. And then this strategy is part of like a broader pattern by this Alden Global Capital of acquiring and stripping distressed businesses, including local newspapers and now manufactured housing. So Homes of America, which is an affiliate of this Alden Global, has been aggressively purchasing these mobile home communities with the intention of maximizing their profits because greed. And while Alden Global appears to have made cash purchases, okay, it has simultaneously burdened the parks with debt, taking out large mortgages, and this allows them to maximize their profits while potentially undermining the long-term stability of the communities. So this aggressive acquisition on the mobile home communities is causing concern as it further diminishes the supply of affordable housing, particularly here in Florida and Michigan and Illinois, which have a high concentration of Alden-owned parks. Yeah. So if you live in one of these parks, please be aware of what's really going on, okay? Because God help me if one of you guys I'm just saying, okay? Because these guys, they don't care. They're just all about this. And it's really getting to me. When I heard about this, I'm like, oh, hell no. Here we go. These greedy sons of bitches. And I'm like, I get these cold calls every single day, all day. You guys might get them too. From like these, what are they, investors, flippers, what? Oh, are you the owner? Yeah. Oh, well, we're interested in buying your house. My house is not for sale. Oh, it's not? No. What would make you think that my house is for sale? Oh, well, we get these listings off of Zillow. Okay, my house has never once been up for sale, ever, in the 22 years since I built this house. What would make you think that my house is for sale? It's never once been listed on Zillow for sale. or anywhere for sale. So what makes you think, oh, well, what? Click. So be careful. Don't fall for any of this crap. Don't. I mean, I know some of you, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm really hurting for money. Don't. Because I played along with them just one time, just to see what they would say. I know what my house is valued at, okay? And yeah, I went on Zillow to see what they had my house listed, as valued at, right? And the girl, I laughed so hard I peed myself. And she's like, our investors are willing to give you an enormous amount of money for your house. And I'm like, really? How much? She's like, are you ready? You're going to be surprised. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Go ahead, tell me. Because I already know what my house is worth. Okay? Just had a new roof put on, painted the outside, painted the inside, had all these upgrades just put in, this, that, and the other, right? She's like, we're going to give you $88,000. I was like, what? Yeah, okay. I just spent $26,000 just to put a new roof on my house. I mean, I'm serious. Come off it, bruh. I mean, seriously, are you serious right now? That $88,000 doesn't even cover the upgrades. Okay? I mean, we didn't do all the upgrades all at once, but I'm just saying. Come on now. Seriously. Get over yourself, okay? I mean, $88,000. Yeah, okay. Even Zillow was laughing at that. So anyways, all right, I'm out of here. I will see you guys in the next one, okay? You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless, and don't fall for this crap. Ciao.